90% of people fail to follow two simple rules for saving money, and as a result, they constantly live from paycheck to paycheck and accumulate debt. This problem arises from the second rule I'll talk about, the one that causes people to lose all the money they've saved. And after that, you will learn how saving on just one thing will make you rich. Don't spend every penny you earn, because life is unpredictable. You never know what expenses may arise tomorrow. Those who spend everything they earn will never accumulate wealth. Have you ever met someone who spends their entire paycheck for the first few days, and then when a couple weeks go by, they start borrowing from others, taking out loans, etc., simply by saying, "I need money urgently"? Give this video a like if this sounds familiar to you. People who spend everything they earn inevitably end up in debt, eventually having to resort to credit cards or other forms of loans. As a result, stress levels rise and the person becomes trapped in financial turmoil. There is a simple solution. Set aside a portion of your earnings, no matter how large or small your income is. Determine a certain percentage, ideally 10 to 30%, and set it aside automatically, treating these funds as if they don't exist. Over time, you will find that you can only live comfortably on 90 to 70% of your total income. There is a misconception that if you have earned money, you should spend it frivolously or somehow get rid of it, believing that new money will come later. In fact, this idea has no basis in reality, because money comes to those who already have money. It really does. When you get a paycheck, you plan your spending based on the money you have at the moment, assuming that you will get some bonuses or refunds. This kind of planning is based on an assumption of future income, which is insane. The right thing to do is to plan your current expenses based on the money you have available and set aside a certain amount. When the next income comes in, you can revisit your plan and realize where mistakes were made. For example, if you have set aside a certain amount to feed your family, you should plan your expenses according to that amount. If you have a need for other non-food related expenses and you can't afford it, it shows that you underestimated the importance of that expense in your planning. The second rule is probably the most important. Don't trust your money to the first person you meet. You earned the money with your expertise, your perseverance, and it probably didn't come easily. You got it from an area that is under your control. It's an area in which you're an expert, and it drives me crazy when I see a person who has some savings give that money to an area that he doesn't understand at all and has absolutely no control over. He starts buying shares on funds without understanding anything about it, or invests in cryptocurrency without having any idea about it, or just gambles. It's called Russian roulette. When you put your money in an area that you understand and control, you have a very high probability of getting rich. But when you put your money in an area you don't know, you're more likely to lose money. Now I'm going to tell you how to save money on one small thing and make a lot of money from it. You think the secret to wealth is finding new ways to increase your income, but that's not entirely true. Ask anyone who got a promotion last year if their savings increased. The answer will likely be no. Just look at yourself. Even if you're earning more than you did last year, have you gotten richer? Chances are you'll probably say no. Why is that? Because the more we earn, the more we spend. The amount you earn has little impact on whether or not you become rich. To become an automatic millionaire, you must accept that regardless of your income level, you are already earning enough to become rich. Now you may be wondering, what's the catch? Well, there isn't one. There is a concept called the latte factor, which suggests that instead of spending $5 a day on coffee, you should invest that amount. While this idea may seem silly, its name is taken from a true story. A woman couldn't afford to save an extra $5 a month because she only had enough until payday. When her daily expenses were analyzed, it was discovered that every morning she spent about $5 on coffee and pastries and another $5 on snacks around 11 a.m. Consequently, she spent $10 before 11 a.m., not even accounting for lunch. This example shows how seemingly small purchases accumulate over time, preventing wealth accumulation. So perhaps rethinking some of our daily expenses would benefit us all. How much do you think she would save for retirement if she started investing half of that $10? She thought it would be somewhere around $70,000 or $80,000. However, after analyzing her expenses, the woman was shocked to learn that if she invested $5 a day with an annual return of 10%, she could have $1.2 million by the time she retired. A daily coffee and croissant was costing her a fortune, $1 million to be exact. This was a powerful incentive for her to change her habits. That's how the latte factor came about. Some of you may think this doesn't apply to you because you don't drink coffee. And even if you did, you wouldn't spend as much as she did on lattes. But if you think that, you're missing the point. Realize how much money we unknowingly spend on trivial things and how changing our habits can greatly improve our lives. Your latte factor may not be coffee at all. Perhaps you spend too much money on cigarettes, soft drinks, candy bars, fast food, and similar items. Whatever it is, we all tend to spend too much money on unnecessary small expenses without realizing how much they add up. Here's a chart showing how an investment of $5 a day with an annual return of 10% can grow over 40 years. Now think about how much money you'll lose if you can't identify and eliminate your personal latte factor. Track your expenses for a week. Write down everything you buy, even insignificant items. Track your cash transactions as well as your credit card payments. I recommend writing everything down rather than trying to memorize it, as numbers written down on paper produce better results. This exercise will allow you to see exactly where your money is going. Another false belief is that significant profits require a significant initial investment. People believe that they cannot make significant profits unless they invest large sums of money. However, reality proves otherwise. Even modest regular contributions can yield impressive returns. Allow me to present an interesting table. 3 people, Billy, Susan, and Kim, each invest $3,000 per year, which is equivalent to about $8.30 per day. All earn a 10% annual return and begin investing at age 15, stopping after 5, 8, and 39 years, respectively. Billy stops investing at age 19, leaving his income intact. Sue starts investing at age 19 and continues for 8 years, ceasing at age 26. Kim starts at age 27 and continues until 65, despite the longest period of investing, whose assets will exceed those of the others by age 65. Surprisingly, among these 3, Kim will have the least, about $1.3 million. He contributed $117,000 over 39 years. Meanwhile, Sue gets $1.6 million despite contributing less, $24,000 over 8 years. Notably, Billy contributes the smallest amount, $15,000 over 5 years, yet he receives the largest amount, $2.1 million, simply because he started earlier. Time is critical in investing. Find your latte factor and you'll understand where the money is flowing. Remember, money saved is the same as money earned. See you soon.